Download file via HTTP only if changed since last update. I need to download a file from a HTTP server, but only if it changed since the last time I downloaded it, e.g. via the if modified since header. I also need to use a custom name for the file on my disk. What tool can I use for this task on Linux? WG, N cannot be used because N cannot be used with O.
The get switch N only gets the file if it has changed, so a possible approach would be to use the simple N switch, which will get the file if it needs to but leaves it with the wrong name. Then create a hard link using the ln key command to link it to a file with the correct name. The linked file has the same metadata as the original. The only limitation being that you cannot have hard links across file system boundaries.
Consider using curl instead of wait. Man curl says z/timecond http/ftp request a file that has been modified later than the given time and date, or one that has been modified before that time. The date expression can be all sorts of date strings, or if it doesn't match any internal ones, it tries to get the time from a given file name instead. If $file doesn't necessarily pre-exist, you'll need to make the use of the z flag conditional using test $file. Note that we don't quote the expansion of $flag here, as we want it to undergo splitting to 0 or 2 tokens. If your shell supports arrays, e.g. bash, then we have a safer and cleaner version.
Python 3.5 plus script for wrapping curl command.
A similar approach to date check with curl timecond would be to download according to file size comparison, i.e. download only if the local file has a different size than the remote file. It is useful, for example, when the download process failed in the middle, and thus the local downloaded file gets a newer date than the remote file, but it's actually corrupted, and re-downloading is required. The curl z/timecond option that was suggested in another answer will not download the remote file in this case, cause the local file has a newer date, but this size check script will.